Yes. I know I'm late. Forgive me. But anywho, thank you all for joining. This is my show, My Name On Podcast. I'm your host, Kenda, and it is another Thursday. Oh, Wednesday. Sheesh.
Not rushing the week.
Girl, I used to be on Thursday. So, yeah, again, that's another forgive me. But it's so good to see y'all guys. I got Ashley Stokes on the show today. Big Ash, not the little one. It's good to have you here today, sis.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me. I was like, oh, I ain't gonna even say nothing, but the people already know. Ashley S. Stokes. Please don't forget the S.
Can't forget the S. Okay. Big flex, right?
Yes, please don't forget the S. I am so excited for this show. I've always been tapping into what you got going on.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Been watching those live, especially that last one that you had. That was super good.
Thank you.
Just and relatable too. And it's always good to have those different platforms to kind of talk about different topics that we generally don't talk about. So I do appreciate you for doing that.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like that's really important. And it's important to have you here because you've got one hell of a story to tell.
Ooh.
One hell of a story to tell. And I love that you have told it in so many different ways. How about you give the audience a little sneak peek on Ashley S?
Period.
So
Ashley S. Stokes is its own brand and entity within itself. Right now, we're doing some changes. But within myself, obviously, I have published books with telling my own story about foster care, which my first book is called Lost in Child Welfare. My second book is Finally Free, which I have had printing issues since the day I released it.
Wow.
They printed it like a doggone magazine, and then they printed it like a small book, and just different type of printing issues that I've had. But that is my second book. I've also released like a journal, my experience journal, because that's how I started telling my own stories to myself, to kind of like get it out naturally as a kid.
Yeah.
But to further that, going right into things that I wanted to do when I was young, have a support group, if you will, of people who look like me, because going to different types of therapies when you were young and seeing different people, and it's like, dang, none of these people look like me or can relate to me. So how can I create that for myself?
Yeah.
And then naturally wanting to do the storytelling on film. So, just transitioning the whole entire Ashley Stokes network to the Ashley S. Stokes brand to Ashley Stokes network. So there will be some things that we plugging into the network now versus just having Ashley S. Stokes and then Sip and Speak Social. So we changed some things around.
I love it. Can we talk a little bit about the Sip and Speak?
Yes, we could talk a lot about it.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk a lot about it. Let's get into it.
Yes. So Sip and Speak Social is a healing space for Black and brown women to come together and talk about different experiences. I try not to call it traumas because I think trauma is a deeply rooted word, and it's overused. So we come together, we talk about our experiences, build sisterhood, community, loving relationships amongst one another, so that we can feel supported on the entire healing journey.
I like that.
When I talk about healing, I think that it's such a broad topic, and it's a wide range of things. So we kind of have to think about that different and naturally that way. But within having Sip and Speak Social this year, we are having a masquerade gala.
I know you're putting in the work on that.
So much work, to the point where it is a lot of different emotions that I have been feeling with this event. However, doing it will be 11/5/2023. November 5th, 2023. So we are 2.5-3 weeks away from the event.
You feeling the pressure?
Oh, the pressure is on because I ain't even got nothing to wear.
But I know you're gonna be good on that.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine. But just overall within doing Sip and Speak Social, obviously it's a formal event. So asking the ladies to come on out, feel inspired, get started, jumpstart yourself in your healing journey. It's time to take the mask off. Shout out to Future. And just making sure that we kind of like tapped into our own personal healing expectations.
I love that.
amongst one another. It will be at St. Kate's
Okay.
Arts Hotel, downtown Milwaukee, which is
Classy.
honestly, yes, it's honestly one of my favorite hotels, because collectively, I think that, Milwaukee has a natural art form. And what I doing myself, it's personally, it's art. It's,
Yeah.
I put a lot of work into the things that I do, a lot of thought into the things that I do. So I wanted it to be in an art space. So
Okay.
it's very intentional about me being at, St. Kate. And I'm like, wow, here's a hotel that I absolutely adore.
Yeah. I
And
love
I'm
it.
doing an event there. So
Go girl.
I'm super excited for the ladies to enjoy that. If you don't have your tickets, girl, you better get your damn
Got to get your
tickets.
tickets. Can you tell everybody where they can get
Yes,
tickets?
on AshleySStokes.com, or you can just go to my Instagram, Ashley S. Stokes on Instagram, or Sip and Speak Social Instagram as well to purchase your tickets. So
Awesome.
AshleySStokes.com/events. You will be able to purchase your tickets there. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's fantastic. Hey, can we cue a clip for the Ashley Stokes
Mm-hmm.
Network? Let's
Mm-hmm.
dive in deep a little bit more about how she got this going. It actually looks really, really fun.
But what made you say, all right, I'm Ashley, sponsors not coming in like I want, the early bird not doing what I want? What still makes this important for me?
Mm-hmm.
What are you showing yourself in this process?
Right.
I'm asking.
I mean, that shit, anxiety is still high. Like, that's really what I'm showing myself. Like, anxiety is still high. I still worry a little bit. Not even a little, a lot of it. I worry a lot about the outcome of the event and how it would transform and transition other women to get to that other side. And not just other women, also personally. Like, how I want to continue to build myself up in the public eye openly to be a vessel.
Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Now let me just say, I love that clip. I
Thank
love that clip.
you.
You are so raw and transparent in that clip. And I
Thank
love
you.
who was the young lady asking you those questions?
Okay.
Okay.
She, owner of Ghetto Mantra, she is our
Nice.
moderator for the event. So she will be asking a series of themed questions for the event, which is obviously a masquerade gala. We're talking about unmasking ourselves and
Yeah.
honestly taking our mask off so that we're able to get to the next level of the healing space. I think when we talk about, healing, we wear a lot of hats and a lot of things like that. But outside of, you being a mom, outside of you being who you are, all the accolades, all of the things that you've accomplished, who really are you
Mm-hmm.
deep inside? So it's kind of like I want people to take their mask off or even put it on if you
Yeah.
need to kind of like sit within that and kind of let it ponder, let it fester up, to kind of learn who you are. And I know that once people come to this event, they will figure it out.
Yeah. You know what
Yeah.
I feel about healing? I feel like
Mhm.
it's a very complex thing
Mm-hmm.
because you could be healing from so
Mm-hmm.
many different things.
Yep.
And you can be healed here and not be healed
Mm-hmm.
there. And while you're
Mm-hmm.
healed there and not here,
Yep.
you could be developing new things to heal from,
Yep.
depending on what's going on in your life. How did you decide to take such a complex thing,
Mm-hmm.
something that is now more so on the forefront?
Mm-hmm.
I would say within the community, there's a lot more discussion
Mm-hmm.
about healing. What made you put that as the center priority of your project?
Um, so I would say one of the things that I decided to kind of put on the forefront was myself. I think when people think about healing, they definitely look to myself or a different space that talks about healing because everything is personal to me. So I started telling my story on the internet platform and use that as a segue to say, hey, this is what happened to me. If this was happened to you, this is the spaces that you need to be in to kind of like um filter it down a little bit and kind of
Mhm.
like have more dialogue and more relatability. I think that sometimes we talk about healing and we don't really look at the intricate things, like the things that are right there in the center. And it's
Mhm.
like, if you are doing the work, if you are rebuilding the foundation of yourself, a lot of it comes from just building up and being more intentional about your healing. You can't just say, like, I can say that I'm a straight shooter when I'm talking, but I know that I kind of have to soften that up a little bit so that people can understand what I'm saying.
Right.
Right. But if I don't know that and acknowledge it, to kind of work on it, like, what is it that I'm really doing with that? So understanding that, I just can't put off me being depressed and just kind of putting on these bags of, depression or anxiety, and not really dealing with the things that's giving me anxiety.
Right.
Coming across different problems in my life, I've realized that I have to talk about those things. And if I hold that shit in, it's really not good for me.
Yeah.
I noticed that, it does give me anxiety if I choose to hold things in, or if I choose to not even have the conversation surrounding, like, the real issue. Like, what is
Right.
the real issue? So kind of like facing myself within that. I
I'm
hope that answered the
I'm the
question.
same way. I'm the same way.
I think we all are. Human beings
Yes.
are. Yes.
Yes. So that was so raw and transparent to
Mhm.
say, right now the anxiety is kicking my ass.
Like,
like, let's just be real. Like, really, to be
Mhm.
real with you,
Mhm.
it doesn't sound like you have any doubts. You don't
Mhm.
have any less of confidence.
Mhm.
It's just more so, it's the anxiety behind wanting to create something amazing, wanting it to be, translated well, and wanting people
Yep.
to get out of it what your purpose is behind it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that kind of puts you in that position.
Doing Sip and Speak Social, I think that sometimes we think it's an easy event. And it's not.
It's not. It's not. Event planning
I
is not easy.
carefully process what I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So last year I went to Kendrick Lamar's concert, and with him doing obviously, his Big Steppers tour, and I'm a huge K-Dot fan. On one of his sets, he had a mask won't hide who you are inside.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, this was a year ago, and mask was still masking. We're in a time where we were wearing more masks and just masking ourselves up because of COVID.
Right.
Right.
Not my favorite time at all.
Oh,
by the
definitely
way.
not. Definitely not. But then I'm like, wait, a mask won't hide who you are inside? Like, so here I am, I wear all these hats, but at night I feel terrible about who I am. Taking off all of the weight that I put on myself, and then really looking in the mirror saying, like, are you happy with the person that you see? And that really, like, touched me, and it inspired me to kind of do the Masquerade Gala, because I know that y'all finna put that shit on.
Yeah, absolutely. It's dope how you correlated the two.
I'm
It's
like,
dope.
I know that they about to get dressed.
Yeah.
And once you done with all of that, once the makeup is off, once the hair is done and all of that is off, once the, gown and all of these, your mask, once everything is off at night, do you really like and love the person that you see in the mirror? And sometimes it's not just about the love.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes it's about, like, damn, do I like myself? Do I like what I see?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and everybody said, yeah, I love myself. I love what I'm doing. I love what I got going on. But nah, that some of that shit be a facade. I'll be the first person to tell you that, for a long time I used to, portray that I loved and liked myself. And I was like, yeah, this shit can't go on too much longer.
So what did you do? How did you get down to the core or the root cause of the problem?
What I did was I was honest. Sometimes facing your fears is one of the hardest things that you can do.
Absolutely.
On a healing journey, on a healing space. And in order for me to kind of like really dig deep and kind of, free myself from myself. I had a question today from Carved in Stone. Shout out to Naisha. And she asked me, she said, dang, what do you want people to receive when they come to Sip and Speak. I said, basically, I want you to free yourself from yourself.
Mm,
And honestly, that's what I did for me. And I was like,
wow.
dang, I want to be able to free everything about me so that honestly, now I'm not, like judging myself or worried about what somebody else gonna think. Again, I'm
That's
human, so
important.
sometimes it does fester back up. But
Mhm.
then I have to remind myself, like, that ain't perfect either.
Right.
So really just kind of being honest with myself on my own platforms to say, like, this is what you're actually dealing with. This is why you're dealing with it. What are you going to do to change it?
Right. Right.
So we can't necessarily say that, you know, we just dealing with things just to be dealing with them. And I think that that's the problem.
Mhm.
We hold so many things in, and we don't naturally deal with them. So it's unfortunate that we have to do it that way. But I do think that, it's important for us to kind of like have that dialogue within ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it's levels to the shit.
Oh, too many levels.
It's definitely levels to the shit when it
Mhm.
comes to knowing thyself,
Absolutely.
understanding,
Mhm.
what you will and will not tolerate,
Yep.
what boundaries need to be put in place. The circle you have around you, are they for you? I feel like all those things
Play a factor.
play a factor for sure.
Mhm.
And like you said, even the things when you wear all these hats, when you're wearing the hats, what is the purpose behind it? And like you
Mhm.
said, be intentional behind
Yes.
what you do.
Yes, absolutely. I think that for most people, the word intentional is new right
Mm-hmm.
now. It's something that we are now just now saying, right? So yeah, we have intent, but before we used to say, yeah, no, no pun intended, or
Yeah.
that wasn't my intention. But sometimes it really is your intention, and things happen the way that they're supposed to happen for a reason. So it's okay if it was or wasn't your intention. It's just like, how are you going to change that? What are
Right.
some things that you're going to change so that you can be intentional about healing, so that you can be intentional about protecting your boundaries, so that you can be intentional about just overall
Yeah.
everything. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I think that healing is so broad. It's a big scope. It's just, and you can niche it all the way down to a microscope. But
Mm-hmm.
you got to do one thing at a time. You can't do everything at one time.
Well, tell who is Ashley?
Ooh, baby.
Who is Ashley? You got two books out there.
Mm-hmm.
One of them really gets down. The first one gets
Yeah.
really down
And
deep.
deep. Yes.
Yeah,
Um,
because you've been through a lot.
I have. I really have. And I used to say, I'm this way for a reason, but this reason I am that way.
Woo!
Like,
You know what? The button's over here. But, let me see if I can clip that one out. Where is
yeah,
that?
this reason I am that way.
Dang, I should have checked on that, but I'm definitely clapping for that. Y'all heard that? Yes, I love it.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think that, I had to start with that. So when you ask me who is Ashley, Ashley is someone who is bright, you know, who is free spirited.
Yes, I
Um,
got that from
a
you the first time
goal.
I met you too. By the way,
Really?
yeah,
I'm a goal seeker.
I love it.
I like to knock things off my list. I'm optimistic.
Yeah,
Um, I'm brilliant. Um, Ashley is someone who has been hurt, but use her hurt to
yeah,
kind of tell the story, share the narrative. Ashley is an open book.
I love it. I love it.
Ashley is, you know, herself. Ashley is love.
Yeah,
Ashley is patient. Um, it's so many things that I can say Ashley is,
yeah.
aside from being beautiful.
I also think you're vulnerable, Ashley.
I'm extremely vulnerable.
Yeah, I feel like you wear your heart on your sleeve.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you are just a sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now I don't
You're
get that often,
welcome.
but
You are.
I definitely think that I am vulnerable.
Mhm.
To a
And that's why you're
degree.
doing everything you're doing.
Yes.
I feel like you have to be vulnerable to a certain degree
Mhm.
to allow this many people in your space,
In my space.
and want to deliver this
Yes.
type of message,
Yes.
this broad
Yes.
message.
Yes.
So big, so major,
Mhm.
and put all this effort and time into this project.
Yes.
And several
Let's-
others.
I definitely know that, Sip and Speak Social has given me a lot of the vulnerability
Mhm.
piece of it, but also within being vulnerable, I think for me, it's important that I kind of, learn to also mask my vulnerability too, right?
Yeah.
Everybody don't deserve that,
That's true.
but
But that's where that anxiety kicks
that's
in.
when
It's
the
like a
anxiety comes
protective
in.
barrier for you.
And I have to learn to mask it in certain situations and when to be vulnerable, when to turn it on and turn it off, because there's spaces that I should be able to do it in and not. But my vulnerability has helped me kind of see things a little bit more clear, and showing what my feelings really are.
That's good.
So I have to continue to be vulnerable, but knowing when to switch the switch.
It sounds like you got a high level of emotional intelligence, and not a lot of people have that. But that's
I'ma
what
laugh at that one.
it sounds like it.
Yeah, I'm definitely
It comes with knowing yourself too, though, Ash.
yeah, I believe in me. Like, I know everything that I'm doing has purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know that everything that I'm doing has, a good story behind it. And whether it's something that I want to strike up new, I know that where I'm going with is where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I feel like I'm this way. Like, yeah, I can say, yeah, I'm this way for a reason, but no. Like, I'm completely who I am because I wanted to be able to set myself free. Like, I have to.
I have to say, I hear where you're coming from, because a lot of people that say, "Oh, I'm like this for a reason," they're typically working their way up to make some type of excuse or lack some type of accountability. Or hide themselves behind something else. When you don't put that reason as or give it that much significance, then you're able to flourish in other ways and be you and do things at your expense and on your time, right? So it helps you to evolve and grow without giving power to whatever that other thing is. Yeah.
And I think that that's the power of like evolution is important. You have to use what the old saying, use what you got to get what you want.
That still works.
And that still works. You know what I mean? But so that's what I'm doing. I'm using the power of my voice to kind of structure what my life and my lifestyle should be. And that's why I have these platforms. So that I can do that.
Talk a little bit more about the network. This is new.
Yes.
This is new.
I'm excited about the network. So Ashley S. Stokes, will be changing. Obviously, that's still going to be a thing. It's just going to be its own thing. So within the Ashley Stokes network will be, Ashley S. Stokes Publishing and Ashley S. Stokes, obviously motivational speaker, wellness trainer, the director, and being able to kind of produce certain things about myself.
You so dope. I'm looking at you thinking, I want to be Ashley when I grow up. I'm 37.
That's sweet.
That's so amazing.
It's kind of like right now, I'm just transitioning the whole platform to Ashley Stokes Network, which will be the umbrella. So Sip and Speak Social will also change as well. It will change its name, but still be the same within that space. It's still going to be a Sip and Speak Social, but it's not going to be the name. So it's still going to be the same thing, but we're going to change that up a little bit, and then just making sure we plug in things into the network. So you see Ashley S. Stokes, but underneath all of those things, like here's this network in this community that I've built, where now you can tap into that on your screen. So I think that right now it's being birthed, and it's I'm slowly introducing things, and people got questions. They like, what's going on and what's changing, and I love that everybody tapped in with me. So
it's a beautiful thing.
It is. It's definitely a beautiful thing, and it's something that I'm proud about.
I know you excited as hell.
really out here doing the damn thing.
That's
I
great.
really am proud of myself.
You should be. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you. I definitely be. Sometimes I be too hard on myself and don't really know how to celebrate like in that moment. But
Mhm.
With that, I kind of gotta sit in the proudness, just sit in it and kind of understand that hey, you work this hard to get to this next space or this next level.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate the process, girl.
because it's growing into something that I know. Like, damn, I used to talk about this as a kid. Like, I was a teenager saying what I wanted to do right
You
now, and I'm
manifested it.
actually doing that. Like,
Girl.
that's crazy.
Manifestation. It's real.
Yes. I'm ready for the next level. And I realized that with that new levels, new devils, new challenges.
Are you scared?
Um,
Do you have that little bit of fear?
um,
They
I think
say
that
if it's there.
fear is a big word.
Okay.
I'm definitely, I am hopeful.
That's great.
So I'm focused on that part of it. Scared is probably a good thing too.
Yeah.
Like scared because I don't know what to expect. And even within being scared, like it turns on that anxiety.
That's what I was gonna say. But that still pushes you, don't it?
Yes. I definitely turn on my anxiety piece, but also I kind of I'm just hopeful for the process. I know that the work, I've already done the work and the work is there. Like y'all see it. So I'm kind of popping my shit a little bit.
You definitely should be. Pop, pop.
Like I'm definitely doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm just flourishing. I'm in this spirit of flourishing. One of my girlfriends told me today, she said, damn, I feel like you're in a space of like shedding. And I was like, yeah, I like that. Like
how a snake just shed the first layer and then just keep going and and growing.
We don't fuck with the snakes.
No, but we don't fuck with the snakes.
We ain't fucking with those.
Ain't none of that allowed over here.
So definitely shedding.
I love it. I love that. I was gonna ask you, and I'm glad you brought that up. I was gonna say, like, what does your support team look like? What does your team look like behind the network and behind all the planning for the masquerade?
So my team is huge right now. I have several people that's behind and on the side of me rooting. One of the main people is Marquise Voss, Voss Visual Media.
I saw him tag quite a bit. Shout out to you, sir.
Yes. He's been a vessel for me and a lot of the reason Ashley Stokes Network is what it is.
Wow.
He's brilliant. Honestly, he's extremely patient with me and my vision.
Yeah.
And he executes what I'm looking
that's
for.
what it takes.
And I'm grateful to have him on my team. Another person that helps me critically think. Ghetto Mantras, G Banshi. She helps me critically think about things differently, the things that I ain't thought about, and I'm like, I see how you.
I love that. Them perceptions, they sometimes they take you where you need to be.
Oh yeah, she definitely she does it for me every time, and in this week's episode, she definitely she took me there, and
she caught me. Damn. I'm like, ooh, this one right here, this conversation,
it's good, it's juicy.
Deep.
and I was like, damn it, she always do this to me.
Wow.
So G Butterfly, she's a person who helps me calm myself. She's so calm, even when she's going through her own shit, that she helps me calm down. And G also does the same thing. So they're my calming spirits. Because I am so rah all the time. Like I'm ready to tap in every single time. And they like, no.
They tell you to slow it down.
And they help me think slowly versus thinking fast.
That's important.
Which is extremely important for me to have both of them in my life. My best friend, she's so supportive, Taja. um, to just be clapping for me all the time,
Yeah.
you know. And then, you know, a big supporter just from a male perspective. Javante Shackelford, Shack Fitness,
Okay. Okay.
Powman, from a mentor, big brother perspective, and just
Mhm.
my family too. Like
Yes.
these people, like really give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying?
That is amazing.
And I'm just grateful for those people.
Yes.
And I didn't mention everybody, but these are the main people that like I've tapped in
Mhm.
with y'all. Like they touch my heart a
They
lot.
really inspire you,
They really
motivate
inspire
you.
me, and they inspire me to keep going and to remain calm.
Mhm.
You know, Rosalind, all of these people is just they help me breathe. They
Oh,
help me breathe.
that's
That's
powerful.
it. You
That's
know, aside
powerful.
from being inspired and aside from doing everything else, these people just really help me breathe.
Yeah.
Um, and then just to further that, my sponsors that, you know, have come through for me. Um, you know, Rachel, Ashley.
Shout out to them ladies. They came on the show.
Yes. We have Lachey. Um, man, we have so many of them.
That's
Latrice,
amazing.
like we have so many women that's coming through the liquor lab. I want to make sure I get everybody, so I'm gonna end that live. But just so many different women that's came through. You know, Brittany,
Yeah.
we got her. Of course, we got Lex, who's came through for me. TZ Talks. Shout
Okay.
out to the whole TZ Talks platform.
Shout out to them.
And just so many other women that's, you know, showing up in the space. So I want to definitely, you know, give all my sponsors their flowers because they support me on this whole entire journey and they believe in what I'm doing and vice versa.
Yeah.
So I would like to say, like I posted today, you know, it's so important to have other like-minded Black women on the side of you.
It is.
And I don't say they behind me. You know what I'm saying? We in this shit together.
That's
Like,
deep.
and you know, no, y'all ain't do me a favor. We did us a favor. Because just like y'all believing in me, I believe in y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just grateful to have a team of people,
Mm-hmm.
but not just a team of people, a team of Black women supporting Black women.
Yes, that's
That's
man.
different.
Yes, it's necessary.
And I'm just grateful to have what I got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's mine.
God
Like,
got you.
all day, every day.
Yes,
He
God
better.
got you.
You know.
Yes.
And I'm an energy person, so you know, I just believe in the good things that you put out, it's gonna come back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so,
Absolutely. It's definitely coming back
sure.
full circle for you.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
the thing is, this is, you know what I think is so crazy about the journey is
What?
it always feels like
Shout out to Simply.
it feels like you at the next level, but it always feels like it's also just the beginning.
Oh yeah.
How is it the
Oh, my
next level
goodness.
but the beginning too? It's
Oh, yeah.
always a rebirth.
For
Right?
sure.
Isn't
For
that
sure.
crazy? It's always a rebirth. It's like, oh, I thought I wanted this, but
Yeah,
God said, no, this is the direction
absolutely.
I'm taking you in. And you gotta be quiet and listen.
And you gotta shut up and listen. You gotta do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
I know that, you know, this entire journey and this entire process for me personally, I take it personal.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. As you should.
Everything about what I'm doing is personal. I'm not going to sit up here and tell you that it's not. But I'm definitely going to tell you that it's a process, and I'm learning to balance it. Because sometimes I can want to do something too fast, but doing it too fast don't mean that it's right.
That's true.
I definitely want to get to where I'm going. And you know, I constantly I watch Issa Rae everything. If I can be in her phone, I would probably be following her ass.
Yeah, she
everywhere.
dope.
And she is extremely a lot of what I get complimented to just the vision of having a story to tell.
I can see y'all doing something together now.
Absolutely.
I could totally
It's
see
gonna
that.
happen.
It's gonna happen. We gonna speak.
It's
Y'all
gonna
heard it
happen.
here.
It's gonna happen.
Yes.
And, the ability to story tell and still keep that shit gutted. Like, I love
Yes.
her for
I
that.
love that too.
And I know that we gonna work together one day.
Mm-hmm.
And just to hear, people tell me like, oh, Issa Rae of the city, you be storytelling. I be into your stories. I want to know.
Good.
Like, I'm watching, and it's good to know that people like believe in me that way.
Yeah.
And because there was a point in time when I didn't have that, or think that somebody would believe in me that much, or coming from where I come from, I don't know what support is. So to be able to build that intentionally and still have that,
and not even have to ask for it. People just pouring into you.
They just pour into you, and
Man.
the energy be real.
Yeah.
People flock to what they flock to for a reason.
That's
and
true.
I hope that for whatever it's worth, that people tap into me for me, not for what I got going on. If you rocking with me, you rocking with me.
Yeah.
That's it. And on the flip side of that, okay, she got all of these exterior things, or she got all of the extra, and I'm like, yeah, they gonna love that too. So that's just a little hint on what I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I like Ashley because I like Ashley, versus I like Ashley because of this.
Yeah, I love it. I think you inspire so many as well. What you doing?
Thank you.
And I can see so many other women wanting to rock with you too, girl, because it's hard to find women that have this mindset, this attitude, this ambition behind them. And considering everything you've endured, you came full force.
Yeah. Like, literally.
No brakes, all gas.
Literally. And I promise you, and putting the work in that way is important though. Because you don't want to get to a point or a level where it's not like what you want it to be. So kind of like doing that, you go hard and then you tap out a little bit. You go hard and then you tap out a little bit. And then respectfully, people will appreciate your craft.
I agree.
Because like I mentioned to you earlier, it's what I'm doing is art. You know what I'm saying? I love art. One of my, pastimes is I check out art galleries. That's part of my mental health wellness plan. Go to an art gallery and check out new art. And it helps me understand, like, from a visualization perspective, how artists are patient with their vision. They put this thing on a platform or easel or whatever they want to put it on, and they just patient with what it turns out to be. Even if they just throwing paint against the wall, but it turns out to be something that they want.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm not just a person out here doing shit. I'm not out here just doing events and creating platforms for people to tell their own stories.
Right.
And everything else, I'm all of that, but an artist is the main form of what I'm doing.
And you giving some art therapy.
Yes.
What?
Literally.
Our people need the therapy.
Come on now. Y'all got it right here.
Right here
art
in your face.
Right there. And I just think that that's important.
I do too.
To have all of those platforms, but still be an artist. Like, I have to learn to appreciate my craft. Just if I'm teaching myself, I got to teach the community too, to appreciate what that is. Because sometimes, we want it so quickly. We want it again and again and again and again, but it's thought behind this.
That's true.
And I've been telling people, like, my anxiety so damn high because I'm trying to get to what I need to get to for this event. Because my back's against the wall. And to be fully transparent, I said that for me, something that I'm honestly doing right now, I'm hustling different ways to try to get this event to what it needs to be. And
I know the feeling, girl.
And to just do that is really important for me. because I believe in this so much that I gotta make it happen. And I'm trying my hardest not to, you know, give up.
Mm-hmm. You
But
won't.
it is what it is. I'm in it until I'm not in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So yeah,
I love it.
that's where I'm at.
Before we go today, I would love
Mhm.
for you to just give people like your top 3 pieces of advice
Mhm.
when it comes to putting something together like this,
Mhm.
because it's not just the event. I love this. It's the spiritual piece behind pulling yourself together
Mhm.
and projecting all these things out, right? So that
Mhm.
they happen as they should happen.
Mhm.
So what would you say like are your top 3 things of advice that you would give someone, especially me, because I'm
Mhm.
in a similar boat,
Yes.
trying to get my vision out there, trying
Mhm.
to help others, and it's tough.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give?
Um. hmm. I think one piece of advice that I would give um someone like yourself or anybody that's interested in, going to the next level, believe in yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and be patient all in one.
Okay.
So believing in yourself and being patient with what you want, because it's gonna come. It's just like you just have to be extremely patient.
Okay.
Um, the second piece of that is um just because, and shout out to Glenna, um, but just because a no doesn't mean right now. That's what I'm
Mm,
saying. So
yes.
she told me that on my first event, and when she told me that, and Butterfly brought it back up to me today. Um, a no doesn't mean right now, like not right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm like, dang. I'm like, dang. How come I didn't think about it like that?
Yeah, because it could
You
be a
know,
yes tomorrow.
that's right. But just today, it's a no.
Yeah. Yeah.
So understanding that,
Mm-hmm.
and then the third, but not this the most important one. Don't ask people for advice.
Mm.
Do what the fuck you saying you gonna do.
Woo! Y'all heard it.
Um,
If I could do the air horn, I would. It go. Nah, nah, nah,
uh,
nah, nah. Hey,
it's
it wasn't
like,
working earlier, bro. It wasn't working earlier. But man, she definitely said
um, do what you saying you gonna do. Cause
yes.
if you asking for so many pieces of um information, um, your vision is no longer yours.
Mm-hmm.
You have hired people to tell you what their vision of what your vision should be,
Yeah. You know what?
and
I
it's no
agree.
longer your thing. And I think sometimes we get it confused when we don't look for advice on everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we're looking for, hey, what is your perspective? I'm not asking you to tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm asking for your perspective and be clear on what you want. So I
Yeah.
had to add a 4 in there. Be clear. You got to start saying the things that you want. Um, and be intentional about that.
Right.
So, I think that this whole thing, this whole entire platform that, I have learned through bumps in the road.
Mm-hmm.
And I have also learned that, you know, with all the bumps and the kinks and ironing it out, and I'm still doing that. Don't get me wrong. But I do notice that um, if there were some things that I could change, I would.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I hope that the people get it like that.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah, we had some. I was trying to read
Ooh. Ooh. Where
from
them
the
come from?
from the shorties.
Oh, look at all those comments, y'all. Hey, y'all.
I'm trying to see.
Amazing. I love how you guys are tapped in. Y'all showed up for Ashley. Let's go.
Gang, 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 gang. Gang, gang, gang,
Amazing.
gang.
So that's Jocelyn, that's Josephine. Those 2 ladies were the sisters from last week.
Hey
I'm
y'all.
sorry, from last month.
Hey, I hope
Foster
that y'all
sisters.
come. I hope that y'all come through. Slide through to Sip and Speak Social Masquerade Gala, which is 11/5/2023, a formal event. Tickets are available on my website. Um, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes. I appreciate it.
AshleyStokes.com/events.
Ashley Stokes,
Period.
this girl right here, y'all.
Don't do too much. Not too much.
Look,
now.
look. But she is in the community. That's another thing.
Uh-huh.
She ain't out of reach. You
Mhm.
know, she is in the community. So
Yeah, for sure.
if y'all got questions about the event, I'm pretty sure you can message her,
Absolutely.
and you know she'll give you some more insight. But this has been amazing.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you so
yeah.
much. I realize that, as I continue to grow, um, I realize I will check my inbox, babe. Um, as I continue to grow, I just hope that I continue to heal.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I'm in this
And
shit
you
for.
will.
I just want to keep healing, and keep telling my story openly and be proud of it.
Yeah. And keep knocking down them doors, girl, because you're
I'm
knocking them
trying
down.
to get them
You're
down,
kicking
down,
them.
down. But there comes it's gonna happen for me.
Yeah.
I feel it. I already know
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. So I realize, just to go back to it, but I do realize that I'm grateful for what Milwaukee has done for me. Um and
Let's
I'm
go.
blessed, to say the least, and I'm thankful for the people that I have met. But I'm gonna say this here first.
Yeah.
It's time for
It
me to
is
go.
time. Woo.
It's time for me to go.
Whew.
It is. It's time.
Yeah.
It's my time to, you know, take that leap. I gotta get to the next point.
Mhm.
And the next point is I gotta be on your screen.
Yeah.
That's it.
And you got to get uncomfortable.
Oh yeah.
It's time to get that
It's
out the way.
it's time to get real uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because in being uncomfortable, there's so much growth. And I'm not gonna sit up here and lie and say I'm ready for it, but I'm preparing.
Yeah.
I'm preparing.
Let's
That's
go.
it. So yeah,
Yes.
that's me in a nutshell.
I love it. Well, thank y'all for tapping in. This is again Miss Ashley S. Stokes on Mind My Own podcast. Y'all make sure y'all get y'all tickets for the Masquerade
Please.
Gala. She
Please.
really putting her heart and soul into this.
I am.
And it's so powerful and meaningful. And she wants to continue to do stuff like this, but she needs your support. So make sure y'all tap in on that. And again, my name is Kenda. This is My Own Podcast. And I will see you guys next week. We're going to wave.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all.